Yeah, man. My mom, she had to go to rehab and get clean, and she got clean. We were homeless a couple times and no food in the house to eat. So I've been through a lot of struggle as a kid, but me, I was always positive. So I didn't look at it as too much struggle. I'm pretty sure it was more struggle for my mom than me, but
brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
You're listening to the Black and Blue Podcast, a discussion and celebration of the roles of African Americans and other minorities in U.S. law enforcement. Your host on the Black and Blue Podcast is Dale Peters, a law enforcement professional with over 20 years experience in the business. Hop on board this Black and Blue train of interviews, current events, and pop culture conversations. So get ready. The Black and Blue Podcast is coming at you right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the interrogation room. My name is Dale. I'm your host of the Black and Blue Podcast. I appreciate you coming into to the show today, because I got somebody else here that's going to show us what is really up here in the hood, what's going on with this COVID. Help me welcome in my man, Aaron Thompson. What's going on, brother?
hey, everything's good, man. How are you?
I can't complain.
Oh, it's awesome,
good. How you dealing out here in this COVID times we're dealing with?
Man, I'm trying to deal the best I can. I'm actually, at home when I'm home off of work. And then when I go to work, man, I just stay away from everybody and everything,
Right. So you work for who? Who do you work for?
Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD.
Okay. How long you been on?
I've been on, it'll be 12 years in April. I got hired April of 2008.
Okay. And what are you doing right now over there?
Right now, I'm part of a unit called Community Safety Partnership. So we're assigned to the housing developments previously known as the projects in Watts. And
all right.
So they developed this program along with the chief of Condoleezza Rice. What happened was, Connie Rice, she said that she used to wake up every day, she's a lawyer trying to sue LAPD. And she was like, let me be part of the solution instead of, just part of the problem, going back and forth. So what she started doing was she got with us and Housing Authority, and they put officers in the developments, and we walk foot beats, we chop it up with the community. We enforce if we have to. That's one of the pillars, but it's usually more of engaging. We started programs. We started the Watts Rams football program. We got some really good coaches, officers doing that. We started a basketball program, Watts Skills Academy. My boy, Ivan Lombard Jackson, he started it, and I helped coach with that, and along with another coach, Hassan Trotter. And we also, they started tutoring programs, officers over there, dance programs, all kind of programs, man.
Nice.
And a really big one is Operation Progress, and an officer that was, born in Boston. He started this program where it's putting kids through college. And the funding helps them go through college. They're paying for that. They're getting full rides for that. And also,
how are they paying for that? Where are they getting the funding from that?
Of course, they write grants up, and they submit those. But there is a pretty rich dude who owns like the Grove and real estate properties out here who basically let them, started the program with like $5 million. And kids are able to, that living in, those, the area of Watson, some that don't have a lot of money. They're actually, they have to, show some type of, they want to succeed in life.
Right.
And they put some drive, and they put them in a private school out there. They put them in private schools all over, man. It's a pretty cool program. So, that's what we do. Because, the way the the world is going right now. Community policing is necessary.
Yeah.
Just not, hooking and booking is what we call it. Just not arresting people, but that's part of it. But really trying to engage and trying to be there for them, in all aspects.
How are you guys being received over there?
At first, there was some pushback because they didn't really understand. They were like, "No, we don't need the cops over here."
Yeah.
But after a little while, they started realizing, because we started just talking on human levels. The officers who started in the program kind of, I came on shortly, and they showed, we just walked around. But then, it's funny, man. As soon as the community over there, they start talking to you, they realize like, oh shoot, especially with me, they were like, oh man, dang, Thompson, you must be from the hood, man. You must be down, like, so man, you a real one, and we get to wear like polos and cargo pants and tennis shoes. So we were in Air Force black, dark Air Force Ones, Jordans. So they see that, oh man, like, oh, it's an icebreaker. The shoes are even an icebreaker.
Air Force Ones.
Right. And then I even, play ball like it's funny. Because, in Nickerson Gardens, I was assigned to there the first few years, and they started a basketball program during the summer. Well, so the summer out here in LA, what they're doing, what the mayor did years ago, they called it Summer Night Lights, where kids were able to go to parks, stay there till like 11 p.m. and then go home. It was like straight home. But because they wanted, the mayor wanted kids they wanted to have something to do for them. So they developed that program in a bunch of parks where there's people there that are working, and they got, different sections to do things and keep them busy. Well, the guys in Nickerson Gardens, they started a basketball league, and the chief was like, hey, we want you guys engaging, play with these with the community. And so I was like, man, I'm gonna play basketball with them. So I was the only cop out in this league playing basketball. And I walk in the gym the first time, and I'm, in full uniform at first, and police uniform. I go to meet one of the guys that's shooting around. I'm like, hey man, how you doing? He's like, oh, my name is so-and-so. I said, my name is also Thompson, Aaron Thompson. I always say my first name, Aaron Thompson. And he's like, yeah, man, I don't really mess with the police like that. And he didn't want to like shake my hand or anything like that. So I was like, all right, man. So then 10 minutes later, I'm on the bench. They put me on his team, I guess. He didn't know. I didn't know. I'm on the bench. He's walking towards me like, yo, you playing with us? Because I'm putting my shoes on. Yeah. And I'm out of my uniform. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, that's what's up. And since then, we were like buddies, man. We were talking to each other every time we see each other. And, and it kind of, and it bridged that gap, and it just pierced through that wall that he had up,
Yeah.
And I may not like the things that, the decisions that he's making, but I'm able to talk to him and at least maybe put some nuggets in his mind, like, hey, you should look at, what you want to do in a few years. You should look at it, so it really opened the door for communication, playing with him. And to this day, I still play with him, except for right now, of course.
Yeah, of course, right now, yeah. So you from LA? Did you grow up in LA?
I was born in LA, but I grew up in a lot of different places. When we were 4, my mom and my father, we were doing well at first. My mom was she worked at a paralegal office. She was a paralegal at a law firm. And my dad, he painted houses on his own business, but we stayed in a pretty decent area in West LA. And then, my dad, he's a jazz musician from back in the day, and he, traveled the world at like 16 years old. So he dropped out of high school and started doing that. So he has a lot of demons in his past. So when things started happening, when we were in LA, when I was like 4 years old, he started messing with drugs again. My mom kind of, had her demons with drugs here and there. And then we had to move to where my dad is from, Rockford, Illinois. So we moved around a lot over there. And, my mom and my dad couldn't get along. So we moved to California when I was like 12 up north in Santa Rosa. And then moved around a few times up there because my mom had her problems as well. And I was in 5 different schools in 7th grade, man. So I moved around a lot. And then I moved back down here in Southern Cali. So I moved down to Southern Cali when I was a teenager. And then I just stayed down here until now, basically. But yeah, man, my mom, she had to go to rehab and get clean. And she got clean. We were homeless a couple times and no food in the house to eat. So I've been through a lot of struggle as a kid, but me, I was always positive, so I didn't look at it as too much struggle. I'm pretty sure it was more struggle for my mom than me, but I just, I've been through it. I didn't have I didn't have a curfew. I didn't, I did what I wanted to do, but I never, my friends banged and they was doing drugs, but it never was appealing to me. So I was just like, I'm cool on that. And then my mom, she got out of rehab. We went to a nice area out in Santa Clarita where I lived. I didn't even know where the place was. And after she was clean, man, like, I started hanging out with some friends in high school. And he, one of my boys at the time introduced me to his cousin. And my boy, you could tell he was a little knucklehead, you know what I mean? But when he introduced me to his cousin, him and his cousin and myself got along, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna start kicking it with him and the friends that he got, because I was like thinking, if I put myself around people that got going stuff for themselves, right, it'll probably make me want to do the same. So I started kicking it with them. Man, we best friends to this day. Actually, he became a fire chief out here in Pasadena. Out there in Pasadena, my other boy became a teacher. My other boys in the corporate world. So like we, and my other friend is, he's like got his own production company and all that kind of stuff. So I put myself around people that are going to help me grow. Exactly. And on purpose. You know what I mean? So it was like strategic. Yeah.
How's your mom today? Is she still around? Oh,
man, she's great, man. She lives in San Antonio, Texas, married to a wonderful guy. My dad, he lives back out there in Rockford, but he's clean, remarried, been working. And so, everybody's pretty good. I have 3 sisters and they're all happy and, got kids. And so, everybody, turned out great, man. Everybody turned out great. Yeah.
What about you? You got any little ones?
Oh, man. I got 3 kids, man. I got a daughter and 2 boys. My daughter's 10. My sons are 8 and 5. And my 5-year-old actually turned 6 this month. So,
congrats on that.
Thank you, man. And I got a beautiful wife, and she takes care of the house. And she, especially right now with what's going on, the kids got to be home. She got them on a tight schedule, like, this time we do this time we do this, and she's running the show on that while I'm at work, and then when I'm home, man, I'm hands on. Those are times where we would need to be a dad and just let me watch TV for a second, but
right.
But my kids, man, I don't trip on them, jumping on the couch and stuff. I let them be kids, man, and I play with them, and you got to let them be kids, because I remember when I was, growing up, sometimes I couldn't be a kid. I had to be a grown up, you know what I mean? Yeah. At an early age, So yeah, man, I love it, man.
All right. So then, after high school and you were hooking up with these positive people, what made you want to get into law enforcement?
It's funny because my English teacher, American Lit teacher, he wanted me to. No, he made me Mr. Jeremy Fannin. He made me want to be a lit teacher, English teacher. I wanted to be an English teacher, and I was running track and playing basketball in high school. But I ran track. I remember at the time, my mom was married to this dude who just says, man, like, I ain't never hated nobody until I met this dude. And yeah, man. And one time he put hands on my mom so bad my junior year that you couldn't even recognize her. You know what I'm saying? So my mom finally kicked him out. And then, when that happened, he was gone. He even got arrested and everything. But she, the cycle of violence, she let him back in.
Yeah.
He's a manipulator. So she let him back in the house. So my senior year, he was in our house. And I didn't fall asleep until I knew they was asleep. I didn't come home until I was hanging out with my boys. They good people, but I was over their house until like 12 to like midnight, and it's a school night. And it's a school night. I just didn't want to be home, Yeah. And I was playing basketball, and the first part of my senior year, I was ineligible to play because I wasn't doing no homework. I wasn't applying myself. So I wasn't eligible to play. But my track coaches, they were like, nah, because I really excelled in track. Mm-hmm. So they're like, nope. They're like, this ain't going on. They had me tutoring. They had me staying up to school, doing work. Okay. And I got my grades up, and I made a vow to be undefeated in my league that year. And I was out there. I was like the only one out there, me and my coach, that really, really, Messina, man, that really, Tom Messina, he really believed in me. And it was me and him out there in the rain, in the dirt track. Like, it was like one of the movie scenes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah.
And so I got eligible. I ran track, and then I went to, my grades, weren't good in high school. They were just all right, barely passing. So I didn't take the SATs or anything like that. But I knew I wanted to be a teacher. So I went to JC, ran track at the local JC College of the Canyons. Great coaches. Coach Kane and Deneen Hill, which is Virgil Hill's wife, the boxer Virgil Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she coached some great athletes. And then after that, I transferred to Cal State Northridge, ran track over there, and majored in English. So I wanted to be a teacher. So, after school, I took some time off because I met this lady who wanted to manage me for acting, because I was like into acting, and I minored in theater, and I did a couple commercials and stuff like that. And time went on, and I was just, my counselor, she was like, hey, Aaron, you got to come back. You got to finish this degree. I was like, all right, let me finish the degree. So I went back, and then I started working for a nonprofit organization working with at-risk youth. So I was working with at-risk youth. And they were laying off teachers at the time. And I was like, dang, man, they laying off teachers. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to do the teacher thing, because they don't get paid as it is that much. They don't get paid enough.
Right.
So my boy that's a firefighter, he went to the Redskins to play football. He got hurt. He didn't want to play no more after a couple of years. He came back, he wanted to do firefighting. So he took an EMT class. I took it with him. I'm a clown. I wasn't taking it serious. I was like, I don't want to be a firefighter. I'll just take it with you anyways. It's summer. I ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? I went over his house to play Madden one time, and I came on late. I was 28 when I came on. So I went over his house to, I was working, but not during the summer, because it was a school thing that I did. Yeah. I was coaching basketball as well. So I went to his house. He was like, yo, Aaron, why don't you become a police officer? I said, this is my exact words to him. I said, for what? I don't even like the police. Like, why would I become a cop, dog? And then he's like, yeah, but look how much money they make. And of course, I look at it not having a job. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, they start you out at $51,000. That's a lot. Like, dang,
Right.
And I was like, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do that job. Like, he goes, man, look how many dumb cops have you ran into? And I was like, yeah, that's true, but I've only ran into ones that's kind of like either pulling me over. And so I knew a sheriff that worked at our school. So sort of like what you do. And I went up to him and he was like, yeah, just go online. He kind of, shushed me away. And I was just like, man, whatever. So there was a kid that I was coaching and his father was LAPD, Wayne Edwards, really funny guy, tall, played in the major leagues, played baseball in the major league. He was a shooting instructor in LAPD. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, Wayne, like, I'm thinking about applying for law enforcement. Or, what do you think? He was like, hey, man, Saturday, 2:00, come over to my house. I was like, all right. I went over there. Cool dude, white dude, man. Funny as heck, man. I went over there and he was like, man, this is how he got me. He was like, man, listen, he had all these pamphlets out. He had trophies up. He said, you could play basketball on the job. You can run track on the job. You can, he hit me with the sports. He's like, and you still want to teach? He's like, you can still work with the youth and teach. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, what do I need to do? He said, man, fill out this card, apply here, go take the written test. He started getting me with guys to throw my oral interview. So he really mentored me in the beginning of the process. Yeah. And got me wanting to do it. And, I was kind of worried because I've had like 20 jobs since I was like 16. Yeah. So I went to the Social Security office and got a list of all my jobs just so I can, put it on the application. And then they were like, you can't have bad credit. And my credit was jacked up from college. So they wanted to see that I remember him telling me, he's like, hey, they want to see that your payments default. So I started paying off my little credit cards I had, and freaking that were already, delinquent and stuff like that. So I started paying those off. And then my mom and my sister caught a welfare fraud case. So they have felonies in their background and they're both living with me at the time. So I'm like, I don't think this is going to happen. Right. So, but I'm just going through the process. And then I met a recruiter at this CAPS program where in LAPD, to get ready for the academy during your process of hiring, you go to these things. They teach you how to drill, because I wasn't military. I'm not military. So they teach you how to drill. They teach you how, you're running. You're going out running throughout the city and running in this, and you're freaking, doing all the cadences and all that stuff. So, and he was just like, hey, man, I'm pushing for you. He kind of drew a liking to me. He goes, just remember, good things happen to good people. And the hiring process, you get DQ'd pretty easily if something is kind of fishy. But I was out front about everything. Like I was up front about shoplifting at 9 years old. I never tried smoking weed though. That's probably one of the things that they probably were like, yeah, right. Your mom was on drugs, your dad was on drugs. What are you talking about? I was like, man, my mom smoked weed like it was nothing. Like I didn't need to. Like I knew what it was. And when I see something that looks like it's harmful and me not knowing, all I know as a kid that it's harmful because it's messing my parents up. Yeah. Like now I know the the medical benefits of things, the THC, cannabis and and all. I mean, I know now, I'm smart. So, but like then I just saw it as a negative thing. So I never tried it. I didn't have a full drink of alcohol until I was 23. So, I just was, I was like, I'm a fool anyway. I don't need it. Like, if I was on something, I'm jumping off roofs probably. Right. Like I'm thinking I could fly. My stupid self. So, so I was just like, and I got hired. It's usually a 6 to 12 month process. I got hired in 4 months. Wow. So so I was just like, man, like. And then it was like, I woke up and I was like, damn, I'm a cop. What the heck? Like, this is weird. This is weird, man. Yeah. Like, but I never let it get to my head. So it's easy for me to stay humble because I never let it get to my head, man. I remember a captain telling us like, hey man, with the badge, man, you got to humble yourself. You don't make yourself, you don't try to put yourself on a pedestal because of it. You humble yourself because you're a servant. You have to serve the people. Yes. I can take somebody's freedom away from them. Right. So that's huge power. So just knowing that I'm a police officer and they know that I could do that, why would I force the issue even more? Like,
Exactly.
I don't need to, you know what I mean? And at the same time, I've been fighting all my life. If somebody want to challenge me or something like that, I know how to fight. I don't need to, or I don't, that doesn't validate me. I'm not going to get in a pissing contest with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you think I'm a punk because the way I police, then you can have a discussion with me, a side note discussion with me, and we can see if I'm a punk or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's
you know. So that's how I became a cop, man.
Yeah. It's a journey.
It was a journey, man. There's a lot of reflection. There's a lot of thought process that went into it because my grandmother, God rest her soul, like she was scared. She didn't want me to be a cop, man. She was just like, you know, you don't need to carry a gun. You don't need to do that. You know, my mom, she from LA. I mean, she lived in LA for a long time. She's not from LA, but she lived there in a long time, her teenage years. So she knows how LA is. Yeah. She know all about Nicholson Gardens. She know all about Jordan Downs. So she knew, you know, the elements, and she was just like, oh God, like, you just gotta please be careful. But the way though, the community, from the kids all the way down to the grown-ups and elders, they embraced me where man, I can go up into Nicholson Guards, man, no gun, no badge, if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be, I got a license to operate. I got an LTO. So, you know, they really, because I respect them. Like, I put a few of them in handcuffs. I impounded cars and given tickets because I felt, after warning them umpteenth time, you know, on certain things. But I don't care about the chicken stuff. So I'm not going to just jam them up for like little stupid stuff.
Right.
But they respect that. They respect me. They know I got a job to do.
Yep.
But they also can talk to me on a human level as well. So
exactly. All right. Yeah. So, I know you mentioned earlier that, you know, you were in your formative years of college and all that, you were into acting. Why don't you tell the people what you do on the side? You're a comedian, right?
Yeah. Do stand-up comedy, man.
Yeah. How long you been?
It will be in June. It'll be 4 years. So I'm relatively new. But I've, you know, when I first started, so I was sitting at the house and I was just like, man, like, I got the wife, I got the kids, you know, it's just, you know, there's something that that's, you know, something about me that I'm missing within myself. You know, I said, you know what, let me go online and see if they have any stand-up comedy classes. Cause I was a funny, goofy dude. Right. I just didn't know how to, you know, put that on or transfer that to a stage. So I wanted to learn how. So I went and learned the fundamentals. About 3 weeks into it, I started doing open mics. And I was doing open mics like almost every night, man. Every night. And because I was like, I want to get good. Like, I really want to be great at this. And I just started putting in the work, man. And I started meeting people through people like my mentor, one of my mentors on the job and off the job. He's retired now, but his name is Kevin Dunnigan, man. And he's an actor, and he's been doing it for years as a police officer. He's been in some big movies. And so he introduced me to Chris Spencer, which is my comedy mentor. And Chris Spencer, you know, he's a writer, director, created Husbands of Hollywood. You know that. You know, he's one of the creators of that and writers of that.
Bobby Brown and
man. So he, you know, he's you know, one of my mentors, and so he introduced me to him, who then put me up on stage in Inglewood where I killed one night, and then Lunell Campbell, the legendary Lunell. If those that don't know her, she's short blonde hair. She's been in, you know, so many movies and television shows. She's in the upcoming movie Coming to America 2 with Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
She was in Dolomite. I don't know if you saw My Name is Dolomite.
Yeah.
She was the aunt that Eddie Murphy was talking to.
Uh-huh.
So, very funny, hella funny. And so she saw me in the crowd, came up to me, was like, "Yo, you're funny." So I started working with her because of that. So I'm like, it's opened some doors. Like I'm at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in Vegas when it's open, of course, and we're going back, and I'm making great strides for because of my hard work with that and dedication. So, man, what I do is I talk about my job on stage. I can't say where I work on stage, but I talk about it on stage. I make fun of myself. I make stories come to life. Mm-hmm. I'm very energetic on stage. I do a lot of act outs. I just want people to have a good time. I'm not my style of comedy is not really negative. It's a lot of positivity and just fun, and you know what I mean? So it can get dark because comedians mind. I've been a comedian all my life. I just never did it on stage. But comedians' minds, man, the way we work, and people can be very offended, but everything is funny to us. Okay. Like everything. There's nothing not funny. Like, oh my God, the COVID-19 pandemic is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. But comedians in our minds, we find humor in it. Yeah. A lot of people die every day off of everything. My grandmother passed away. People die. Like, we understand that. Sometimes that's not the worst. Sometimes going through life homeless, broke, nothing to eat, struggling, sometimes that's more hard for people, and that can mess up people's minds mentally. So how do you cope with these things is we find humor in our tragedy. And so that's how we kind of get through because comedians, man, a lot of us have dark times, have dark pasts, have dark thoughts. You know what I'm saying? What keeps me up at night is death. I don't want to die yet. Sometimes you can die on stage as a comedian, and you could die as a police officer, and I'm a police officer. You know what I mean? But I chose that profession knowing that I have a fear of dying, knowing I have a fear of death. And, that's what kept me sane, is me being goofy, me being funny. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so if you could, now's the time to watch a lot of comedy. There's a lot of whack comedy on Netflix right now, but they need to put your boy on. But
your time is coming, bro. Your time is coming. Yeah. So you being a cop, I'm sure it helps you out on your routine on stage. How about you being a comedian helping you out in the field, being a cop?
Well, yeah, my mind has always been that way. So that's always been my sort of say like an icebreaker to people that I need to talk to, or for instance, one time I was working in this one area and it was a backup. I mean, I get to the scene, they had all these people lined up on the fence, and this lady was just going on, "We're the only black family on this block. This is some bull, and like, this is BS, and ain't no gun." And they was about to go search the house for a gun, and ain't no gun in there. We just barbecuing. And she just going off and off and off and off and off. Cops are going by, not talking to her. She cussing everybody out. She's like really upset. Nobody, like, what is going on anyway? We'll talk to you when I say. Nobody's saying anything, but she's going off. And I was looking around like, yo, nobody's addressing her. Nobody's, but she can cause problems. She caused an issue. So I'm looking, I'm observing, and I see a dude standing next to her, just calm, he's upset. He got his hands behind his back and cuffs and stuff like that. But then, so I see that there's a grill going on. They were having a barbecue. There's a grill going on, and it's, chicken on there, and the flames are still going. And I go and I go up to him, because I noticed that by his demeanor, he's in charge. Even though she's the one that's kind of, going crazy and talking trash, he's the one that's in charge.
Okay.
I don't know, it's just, I don't know. Growing up where I grew up,
it's the vibe.
So I went up to him and I was just, went up to him real close and said, hey, man, you tell me, man, who you let burn the chicken? And he was mad, but then he started laughing. And he looks back at me like, man, who is this dude,
Right.
And he looks back and he goes, oh, man. He goes, man, the homie, he was the one barbecuing, man. He always burned stuff. I always burned chicken.
Right.
I said, hey, man, do me a favor. Who is this lady next to you? He's like, man, that's my mom. I said, do me a favor. Just let her know everything's going to be all right. As soon as they find out there's no gun in the house, we're going to let you go. Somebody hating on y'all in the hood said that y'all throwing a gangster party. There's guns, gangsters. So that's why cops showed up. And he goes, hey, mom, hey, relax. They almost done.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, and she just didn't say a word. But my humor, the way my mind works, that helped the situation out.
Yeah.
I do it all the time, man. I make people laugh and smile all the time while I'm out there. And it works, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it goes a long way.
That's that old adage, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar, right?
Yeah. You catch more. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You absolutely right, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well hopefully, that keeps you safe too,
Oh, yeah. It definitely does. I remember one time I was sitting in the middle of the developments and shots, boom, you hear them, and they were really close. And I drive because they were so close. It felt like, man, if somebody was trying to shoot at me, that's how, like, it was that close. Okay. So I drove out the field and I saw a guy that I know from playing ball, and he used to ref the games and stuff. I was like, hey, man, where them shots come from? And he looked at me like, man, I ain't telling you where the shots came from. Like, I'm not no snitch, Okay. And he was like, come on, Thompson. And I was like, well, was they shooting at me? And his neighbor, who happens to be his aunt, was standing outside on the porch with him. And she was like, come on, Thompson, we ain't never let nobody shoot at you. So that's just that rapport that you build with the community, they will always help you and keep you safe. I was talking to an officer last night who have so much time on in this community. Dude, you say his name, they know who it is. It's just it's a white officer from Boston. He got that accent and everything, old school cop. Yeah. I mean, talking about he's been in shootouts.
Get to the car. Right?
Yeah. He's been there's stories of him being in shootouts. And like he didn't have no more bullets left, and he's chasing the guy, and they shooting at each other. And he threw a gun at him, like he didn't have no more bullets left, like that. Like it's like that legendary type dude. Yeah. And he's put so many dudes that have murdered people behind bars because of the way they he's done his job the way it's like a cop is supposed to. Like he's a hard charger. He was in the streets. He don't mess with people just to mess with them. He don't mess with people, but you throw his name out there, man, and they love and they hate him. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like, they say his name wrong, but they think they saying it right. You know what I mean? Okay. And I was telling him last night, I told him, I said, a lot of young officers try to be like you. They can't do what you do. But he gets respect from the hood. Like, he gets respect. And he's not a brother. Mm-hmm. He's a white guy. So it's an uphill battle already. Uphill battle for him because he's white and he's a police officer. Right. So they think sometimes that he might be racist. He's not racist. He's not racist. He just... and he was telling me last night, there's a difference between, his thoughts is this. There's a difference between black and hood black. And people don't understand that it's two different cultures. Okay. What the media does is they put both cultures together. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, there's a gangster and then there's a black dude. That's just because they both black don't mean they have the same culture. Right. Because there's a lot of gangsters that'll look at me and be like, man, you a square. Right. Just because I don't gangbang. Yeah. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's a whole different culture. I I could talk with him. We could chop it up about sports and all this. But then when it came down to what separates us is he trying to go, catch a lick. He trying to go hit a lick. He trying to go rob somebody because it is going on, and he's tearing up the community. Where as me is I'm trying to do something different with my life,
right?
And that's where that line is drawn. And so the media, they don't see that, they don't care about that. They just be like, he's black, he was white, he's black, he's a cop, so that's why. And it's like, nah, don't feed into that. That ain't why. That ain't why. The dude just robbed somebody down the street. And then they got him on camera from 2 weeks ago.
Right,
robbing somebody else. Beating the crap out of somebody, or choking a ice cream lady out on camera, like that one that's going around is viral. Two dudes just walking up, order some ice cream. One dude walks around the back of her, puts her in a chokehold. Now what? Puts her in a chokehold. They take her money and they bounce. They put it on video. They snitching on themselves anyway. They put it on social media.
That's what they doing nowadays. That's what they do.
They do. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But what you supposed to do. I know the friends that I grew up with, that I ended up growing up with, or I know now. So now people see that on video, and now they scared of every black dude that walk down the street. Every black teenager that walk down the street with a hoodie on, they scared of them, even though they not gangbanging or they not taking nobody money. Right. They're not robbing nobody. So there's a difference in cultures. Like it's a different. All black people ain't the same. It's the same thing with all cops. All cops ain't the same. We got some bad apples, and guess what? People like you and I, we weeding those guys out. Yep. We weeding those guys out.
That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. Yeah. Right now, you just mentioned something viral. You talking about social media and all that. You're pretty big on social media. Where can the people find you on social?
On Instagram and TikTok. They find me Real Aaron Thompson, RealAaronThomPson. Real Aaron Thompson. I don't have like as much followers as my boy Trick Shot Cop, because I don't really have like something that really. But if you want some cool videos and a few cool pictures, I'm not great at taking pictures, but my videos are pretty funny, and me being goofy, go on there and just have a laugh or two. Yeah. A lot of people are, they enjoy my videos because I just bring life, joy, laughter. You know what I mean?
And we need that right now.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So you in the TikTok too, huh? You doing the dances and all that?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that one that I just posted of me doing the dance, that was from TikTok. And then the next one I posted of me doing the dance, and then somebody screaming out, "No, no, no!" Like that's from TikTok too. Okay. And TikTok, man, it's so like, I don't know if you know who Gary Vee is, but
not offhand, no.
Look up Gary Vee, Vee. Okay. He's like this. He has a media company, a wine company. He's like a mentor to people, an advisor on businesses. He said about 5-6 years ago that TikTok was the next best thing. Like he was like, TikTok, Vine was big. Mm-hmm. He said TikTok, Instagram, and then now TikTok. He goes, TikTok is the next best thing. Finally got one. I had 3 followers, and 2 of them were my kids.
Right.
And I started posting videos of, and one of the comedians, Jocelyn is her name, very funny, out of Vegas. She was like, go on TikTok, put your uniform on, or do it while you at work or something. Put a video up. You're gonna hit. I was like, all right. So I did. Yeah. Within, I want to say like a month, I got like up to like 3,000 followers, 4,000 followers, 5,000. So where now it's up to like 22,000 followers.
Nice.
So TikTok is it, and then what you do is you put your Instagram thing on there where they click it, and it'll take you to your Instagram.
Right.
So anybody who want I'm learning the social media thing. I'm not a guru or nothing like that. But
Could have fooled me.
Nah, anybody who, well, I just copy what other people do. You know? So anybody who wants to get a little social media going, a little bigger, is TikTok is the way to go. Especially right now, social media. That's all people are watching. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I got a TikTok. I haven't messed with it yet. You know, I'm still just doing the Instagram and the Facebook and all that. My daughter, she's all into TikTok.
Oh yeah, they be doing them dances. Yeah.
She had me doing some little thing with her a while back. I was, nah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I have to think about that. You know, like you said, you know, do it in uniform and you know, blow up. So.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah, I see a lot of those. Maybe one of these days, but it ain't happening right now. But
it's hard because we a little more old school.
Yeah.
Like we're a little more old school. We're a little more like, hey, let's talk on the phone. Like we, you know, we come from that generation where it's like, man, I got better things to do with my time. But our better things to do is like sit, chill, watch TV. Like we old school. We don't want to mess with technology. But man, technology is crazy. They talk about this 5G thing, and it's scary, bro. You're gonna be walking.
Yeah.
They already got it in China where you walk in and facial recognition, and it knows what you're gonna order.
Yeah.
It knows what you're gonna order. They gonna have it. And so we just gotta be, you know, we gotta change with the times, but don't let it consume you.
Right.
But put it down for a few hours, put the phone down for a few hours. But you definitely, social media, TikTok is the way to go. And then you could put it on your Instagram and put it on. I need to do the YouTube thing. That's what I need to do. I need to do the YouTube thing.
Yeah, I'm starting to do all that. I'm starting to do the live streaming. I DJ off duty too. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do a lot of, you know, weddings and parties and corporate stuff. But a lot of that's being canceled now. So, you know, I got to find some other ways to, you know, get it out there. So I'm just doing a lot of live streaming. YouTube, Facebook, IG Live, all that type of stuff. You know, I'm not DJ D Nice.
D Nice.
His live streams, but
that was crazy, right?
Yeah, but you know,
you keep doing it though.
Out there, got to keep that out there.
When it comes back, man, you need a comedian for the corporate gigs. You know,
yes, sir.
Let me know, man. Let me know.
Yeah, I've done a lot of cop weddings. I've done like, I don't know, maybe 10 in my department. And all kinds of other departments everywhere else. I think I did LAPD. I did an LAPD wedding this past summer up in Beverly Hills, in the hills, Hollywood Hills, one of those hills up in there. So yeah,
really?
Yeah, I'm all up in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so cool, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. We got a lot of good info from you.
Oh yeah, man, definitely, man. It was my pleasure, man. Anytime, man. I'll do this a few times. I don't mind.
No doubt. Before I let you get out of here, man, there's a game I like to play with my guests. Let me get you set up here before we. So what I like to call this is called
Black or Blue, 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 Black or Blue.
This game's called Black or Blue, and your category today is called it's called. And the Oscar goes to fictional movie character. Since you're in the entertainment, I'm gonna give you a name of a fictional movie character. You just tell me, is that person black, or is he blue, meaning he's a white cop, or is he a black cop? In which case he'd be black and blue. So if I were to say like James Evans, you know James Evans from Good Times, you would just say black, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now that we got that right, your first one here is going to be John Robinson. John Robinson. Is he black, blue, or black and blue?
John Robinson. Black.
Black. Close. John Robinson. Wesley Snipes from Money Train.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah, he's black.
And blue. He's a black cop.
Oh, he's a black cop in the movie. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I get it.
You got it up?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Cop. Black cop. Okay.
Yeah, black
cop. And blue.
Black and blue. How about Marcellus Wallace?
Marcellus Wallace. I want to say he's black.
He's definitely black. That's Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. That was a good one. That's a good movie.
Yes, sir. Your next one, Aurora Storm Monroe. Aurora Storm Monroe.
I want to say Blue.
What? She's just black. That's Storm.
Oh, Storm. Halle Berry.
Yes.
Oh, Halle Berry.
Storm.
Halle Berry. I used, junior high school, I had a picture of Halle Berry right on my binder, man.
Right.
Storm.
Storm. I said it right there for you. How about your next one? Alex Murphy. Alex Murphy. Is he black, blue, or black and blue? Alex Murphy.
I want to say Alex Murphy's black and blue.
Black and blue. Sorry, my brother. That's Alex Murphy, RoboCop.
Hey, you know how long it's been since I've seen that dang movie? I used to love that movie, though.
Yes. Yeah, Peter Weller.
That's his real name.
Played that role. We got a few more for you. How about Alex Cross? You should know Alex Cross.
Why?
Blue. Blue? Yeah, close. Black and blue. You never seen Tyler Perry playing Alex Cross?
Look at his hair. I swear to God, Tyler Perry, I don't know if he does it on purpose, but his movies, all of his movies, somebody got a jacked up wig on. Do you remember?
Was that him with the jacked up wig?
That was him right there.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie with Shamal Moore in it? What was that, like Family Reunion or something like that?
Yeah,
back in one of the first ones.
Well, he had braids. He had braids. They were horrible.
Yeah. I don't know.
Braids, yeah.
You can't not. Tyler Perry's like, I really want Shamal Moore, but I got to make him look like a gangster. Shamal Moore would never look like a gangster.
No,
never. I don't care what kind of.
He was like a cook or a chef or something like
that.
Yeah,
them braids were horrible.
Yes,
dog.
they were.
There's always a bad wig in Tyler Perry's movies.
All right, how about your next one? Vincent Downs. Vincent Downs.
Oh, he black.
He definitely black. Black and blue, though. So I'm going to say that's actually wrong. Black and blue.
That was a good movie.
Yes.
Sleepless was a good movie.
Yes.
But he was a crooked cop, man.
Yeah, he was a crooked cop in that Jamie Foxx. A couple more for you. Samuel Gerard.
I want to say black and blue. I'm getting all these wrong, man.
Yeah, that's...
Gerard is a black name.
That's the last name. Samuel Gerard. That's Tommy Lee Jones.
Fugitive was a good movie.
Yes,
man.
It was. How about the you got to get this?
I ain't even knowing these names.
John Shaft.
Oh man, he a black.
He is black.
See, I know John Shaft.
Yeah.
Richard Roundtree.
Right. Yeah.
Richard Roundtree. That's crazy.
John Shaft. And your last one here, Moses Hightower.
Hightower, he's black and blue.
Black and blue, you got that one, yes.
Yeah. Yep. Moses Hightower, Police Academy. Yep. That was a good one. You know what? I need to watch that movie. It's been like...
Yeah, rest his soul there. All right, my brother, but you got more wrong than you got right, so...
Yeah, them names, man. I love movies. I don't be remembering their names, though. How you... I remember.
That's why it's a game, though. Let me stop this share real quick.
I called my son. Hey, you. What your name? Like, what's your name? I called him you the other day. This was during the quarantine. I was sick. So they were like, my doctor's like, yeah, stay home.
Okay.
Don't go around people, stay home. I was just like, all right. So this was like 3 weeks ago. So I was home for like a week during the quarantine. And then, this quarantine is making people alcoholics. I ain't nuts, man. I'll be sipping on, me and my wife be sipping every night. I was like, golly.
Yeah. I'm just now getting over sickness. I was at work. I came home early from work on Wednesday because I had a little fever and some body aches. And then
they was like, get your...
Yeah, and then Thursday I was done, and then I'm good now. It's Saturday. I'm good by now. Called my doctor. He's like, yeah, because I didn't have the coughs and the snip and the sneezing and none of that stuff. So he's like,
just get your rest, and I'm good now. So I'll go back to work tomorrow, actually. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, man, my partner, we were driving, and I was like, the windows were down. I was like, ooh, do you smell that? She was like, no, I don't smell it. I was like, you better lie and say you smell something, because that's one of the symptoms.
Yeah, that you lose your smell and your taste.
You can't lose your smell.
Right.
Don't lose your smell.
Now, you guys wearing a mask? I know that's the protocol everyone's doing now.
Well, yesterday I did. You don't have to.
Okay.
But yesterday I did, because we were around a large crowd. And so I wasn't near them. Like, we were out in the street. They were lined up to give gift cards away. And they were giving some gift cards away. And so a lot of people were lined up. The one thing about the hood, man, the culture, is that they don't listen.
Right.
When it comes to this stuff.
Okay.
They all on top of each other, smoking cigarettes, coughing, talking about, this one dude, I said, y'all need to be inside, man. He's like, we ain't gonna get it. We immune to it. You're not immune to it. What are you talking about? Yeah. And then he was like,
they ever seen these posts of all these brothers and sisters dying?
Yeah, they don't watch it. I don't think they watch it. And then I was like, man, y'all probably got high blood pressure, y'all more, because what y'all eating right now, like, man, we ain't got no high blood pressure or no diabetes. I was like, this dude said diabetes. I said, man.
Diabetes, huh?
Diabetes. Me and my partner would crack it up. I was like, diabetes? Yeah. I was like, man, y'all, they don't listen, man. They don't listen. They think they are not, like, they don't think they're gonna get it.
Yeah. I know. I think because it came out from the CDC that they recommend that whenever you come in contact, you do wear it. So our policy just changed. Our chief put it out that when you come in contact with somebody, you will be wearing a mask. So it could be the mask, it could be the the neck thing, the bandana, whatever. But you're gonna cover your face. So
I gotta get a cool looking mask though, man. Them white ones, they be clashing with the uniform. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get something cool, like dark and black, like Bane, Bane from Batman.
There you go. Yeah, they sell them online. They're probably hard to get now, but I see those ads all the time for the dudes that go shooting and
yeah, I'm not used to wearing that on my face though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yesterday a fly landed on my wrist, and I had the thing on me. And I tried to blow the fly away. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, this
that's not gonna happen.
Just make sure you brush your teeth. You gonna smell your own breath all day, man.
Yeah, so. True that. All right, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man. It was fun, and
it was fun.
I'll definitely let you know. Tell the people where they can reach you again on the socials.
Real Aaron Thompson. Real Aaron Thompson. That's real Aaron Thompson, not the real, just real Aaron Thompson on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll be putting out YouTube content soon, so look out for that. And I'll be and I'm on Facebook too, so I'll be forgetting about Facebook, but I'll be on there.
Well, they got the easy, you can post to all these spots at once,
Yeah, they do. They do. I try to switch it up, but yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, I know they say you should vary your content on all these different platforms, but just to make it easy, I just do one post and click, and it goes to all three at the same time. So
yeah, because some people don't have Instagram that have Facebook. So
right. I don't have time to be doing 3 different kind of posts for it. Yeah. So
yeah.
All right, brother. Well, you take care, man. Be safe out there, and we'll talk soon. All right.
All right, man. Be safe.
Yeah, we'll do. All right. All right, Square Pegs, that's it for this episode of the Black and Blue Podcast. I want to thank my man Aaron Thompson for coming in and hanging out with me today. I really enjoyed that conversation. If you guys out there enjoyed the conversation as well, I say this every episode, make sure you like and subscribe to the show on the YouTube channel or whatever podcast platform you hear my voice today. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. I'm on all those platforms, so make sure you like and subscribe to the show there. Also, make sure you check out Black and Blue Live. You know, I do that just about every week on all the social media platforms. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube as well. Not on IG yet. You know, that's a limitation of IG, but make sure you check that out. I bring on panels of various guests to come on and talk about various topics. So make sure you check that out. I'll be back next week with another interview guest on the podcast. So till then, y'all know what to do. Stay black and blue. I'll holler at you. Peace.
This has been a Maitre D Entertainment presentation.